Corvette. The Corvette debuted in 1953 as a sleek two-seat roadster with fiberglass bodywork and a modest inline-six engine. It was America's answer to European sports cars, combining futuristic design with attainable performance. Over 8 generations, the Corvette evolved from a stylish cruiser into a genuine world-class supercar. From the small-block V8 that defined the 1950s and 60s to the mid-engine C8 that arrived in 2020, each era pushed the boundaries of technology and design. The Corvette has become more than a car. It's a national icon that represents American performance at its best. Camaro. The Camaro debuted in 1967 as Chevrolet's direct response to the Ford Mustang. It was built on GM's new F-body platform and offered a wide range of trims and powertrains, from practical 6-cylinders to big-block V8 seconds that defined the muscle car era. Through the late 1960s and early 70s, high-performance versions like the Z28 and SS earned the Camaro a reputation on both the street and the track. The nameplate evolved across 6 generations, surviving emissions, crackdowns, fuel crises, and even an 8-year hiatus after 2002 before returning in 2010 with renewed performance and retro-inspired styling. The final 6th-generation Camaro rolled off the line in 2024, closing more than 5 decades of production. Chevelle. The Chevrolet Chevelle arrived in 1964 as a new mid-size model aimed squarely at buyers who wanted something between the compact Chevy II and the full-size Impala. It was offered in almost every body style imaginable: coupe, sedan, convertible, and wagon, and quickly became one of Chevrolet's most popular nameplates. The Chevelle truly hit its stride during the muscle car boom. By 1970, the SS 454 LS6 version delivered a staggering 450 horsepower, making it one of the most powerful production cars of its era. With its aggressive styling, cowl induction hood, and deep-throated V8, the Chevelle became a symbol of raw American performance. As the 1970s progressed, emissions regulations and rising fuel costs forced the car to become more restrained. The once mighty Chevelle evolved into a softer, more economical family car before being discontinued after 1977. Nova, Chevy II. The Chevrolet Chevy II debuted in 1962 as a practical, compact car built to compete with Ford's Falcon. It was designed for simplicity and reliability, offering straightforward engineering and a range of economical engines that made it a popular choice for everyday driving. By the late 1960s, the name Nova had taken over, and the car's personality began to change. Chevrolet offered V8 power, sportier trims, and the SS variant, which transformed the modest compact into a legitimate muscle-era contender. Lightweight and easy to modify, Novas became fixtures on drag strips across the country. Through the 1970s and early 1980s, the Nova shifted toward economy again, eventually sharing platforms with compact models like the Toyota-built Chevy Nova of 1985 to 1988. El Camino. The Chevrolet El Camino debuted in 1959 as a bold experiment, part car, part truck, blending the sleek lines of a coupe with the practicality of a pickup bed. Based on the full-size Chevy platform, it offered the comfort and style of a passenger car while hauling like a light-duty truck. After a brief 2-year run, Chevrolet discontinued it, only to bring it back in 1964 on the new Chevelle platform. That version defined the El Camino's identity. Through the late 1960s and early 1970s, high-performance SS versions with small and big-block V8 seconds gave it real muscle car credentials, turning the car truck into an American icon. The design evolved with the Chevelle and later Malibu body styles through the 1970s and 1980s, eventually leaning more toward comfort and personal use practicality than pure performance. Production ended after 1987 as consumer tastes shifted toward conventional pickups and SUVs. Monte Carlo. The Chevrolet Monte Carlo debuted in 1970 as a new kind of car for Chevrolet, a personal luxury coupe that blended performance with style and comfort. Built on the same platform as the Chevelle, it offered long hood proportions, bucket seats, and optional big block power under the hood. The early models, especially the SS 454, delivered strong performance while maintaining a more refined, upscale image. Through the 1970s, the Monte Carlo evolved with the decade's trends, larger, more luxurious, and tailored to drivers who wanted presence as much as speed. In the 1980s, the Monte Carlo gained a second life on NASCAR tracks. The aerodynamic Monte Carlo SS became a staple of stock car racing, driven by legends like Dale Earnhardt. After a short hiatus, the nameplate returned in the mid-1990s as a front-wheel drive coupe, continuing into the 2000s with sport-oriented trims like the SS and supercharged versions. Production ended in 2007, closing the book on nearly 4 decades of Monte Carlo history. Bel Air. The Chevrolet Bel Air debuted in 1950 as a premium trim level above the Styleline Deluxe and quickly became a symbol of post-war American optimism. By the mid-1950s, it had evolved into a standalone model that defined Chevrolet's image through its combination of chrome, color, and performance. The 1955 to 1957 Tri-5 Bel Airs became instant classics. They introduced the small block V8, stylish two-tone paint schemes and tail fins that captured the jet age imagination. These cars represented the peak of 1950s design, confident, expressive, and built for an America in love with the open road. In the 1960s and 1970s, the Bel Air shifted toward a more practical, fleet-focused full-size sedan before quietly ending production in 1981. Impala. The Chevrolet Impala debuted in 1958 as a top-tier trim for the Bel Air and quickly became one of the most recognized names in American motoring. With its long, low stance, dual headlights, and sweeping fins, the original Impala captured the look and optimism of late 1950s America. In the 1960s, the Impala grew into Chevrolet's flagship full-size car, blending luxury and performance. The 1964 model became a cultural icon, featured in music, movies, and custom car culture, while SS versions offered V8 power and true muscle-era performance. Through the 1970s and 1980s, the Impala shifted toward comfort and practicality, remaining a popular family sedan. The name returned several times, each generation adapting to its era. A 1990s revival brought the high-performance Impala SS, and later versions served as modern full-size sedans through 2020. Across 6 decades, the Impala represented style, reliability, and presence on the road. It remains one of Chevrolet's longest-running and most beloved nameplates, a car that grew up alongside the American dream. Caprice. The Chevrolet Caprice began in 1965 as a luxury trim level for the Impala before becoming its own model a year later. It represented the top of Chevrolet's full-size lineup, spacious, smooth, and well-appointed. The Caprice quickly earned a reputation for comfort and refinement, serving as General Motors' flagship family sedan through the 1960s and 1970s. The early Caprices offered big block V8 power, plush interiors, and restrained styling compared to the flashier Impala. By the 1970s, it had grown into one of the largest cars Chevrolet ever built, with the 1971 to 1976 models known for their massive proportions and soft ride. Later downsized models of the late 1970s and 1980s focused on efficiency but retained the car's traditional comfort and durability. The final generation, built from 1991 to 1996, reintroduced curvier styling and brought back the high-performance Impala SS variant based on the same platform. Biscayne. The Chevrolet Biscayne debuted in 1958 as the entry-level model in Chevrolet's full-size lineup, positioned below the Bel Air and Impala. It was designed for practicality and value, targeting families, government agencies, and fleet buyers who wanted a durable, no-nonsense car without the extra trim or luxury features. Despite its modest appearance, the Biscayne shared the same robust chassis and drivetrain options as its more expensive siblings. Buyers could order anything from an economical inline-6 to a high-performance big-block V8, making it a favorite among police departments and drag racers who wanted lightweight speed without paying for flash. Throughout the 1960s, the Biscayne remained a staple of Chevrolet's full-size range, reliable, affordable, and easy to maintain. Its simplicity and strength earned it a reputation as one of the most honest cars Chevrolet ever built. Production ended after 1972, as consumer preferences shifted towards smaller cars and more feature-rich sedans. 210. The Chevrolet 210 arrived in 1953 as the mid-range offering in Chevrolet's full-size lineup, positioned between the budget-minded 150 and the more upscale Bel Air. It struck a balance between affordability and style, offering buyers many of the same mechanical features and design cues as the Bel Air but at a lower price. The 210 was available in a wide range of body styles, sedans, wagons, coupes, and convertibles, and could be equipped with Chevrolet's Blue Flame 6-cylinder or optional V8 power once it debuted in 1955. During the Tri-5 years from 1955 to 1957, the 210 shared the same graceful styling and performance options that made that era legendary, including the small block V8 that transformed Chevrolet's image. For many families, the 210 represented the perfect middle ground, practical, stylish, and attainable. It consistently ranked among Chevrolet's best sellers in the mid-1950s, appealing to a broad slice of post-war America. Production ended after 1957, with the model line consolidated under the Bel Air and new Biscayne names. Delray. The Chevrolet Delray began in 1954 as an interior trim package for the 210 series, offering upgraded vinyl upholstery and additional chrome accents that gave Chevrolet's mid-range models a more upscale feel. It was aimed at buyers who wanted comfort and style without stepping up to the costlier Bel Air. In 1958, the Delray became a standalone model positioned as the entry-level full-size Chevrolet. It featured simple, clean styling and a durable interior, catering to value-conscious families and fleet buyers. Despite its economy-focused marketing, the Delray could be ordered with powerful V8 engines, including the 348 cubic inch option, giving it unexpected muscle beneath its modest design. That single model year as a standalone was also its last. By 1959, Chevrolet replaced the Delray with the new Biscayne line, which carried forward its role as the practical full-size offering. 150. The Chevrolet 150 debuted in 1953 as the entry-level model in Chevrolet's full-size lineup. It was designed with simplicity and affordability in mind, targeting budget-conscious buyers, small businesses, and fleet operators who valued function over flair. The 150 shared the same body and mechanical components as the more expensive 210 and Bel Air models, but came with minimal trim, plain interiors, and limited options. It was often sold as a two-door or four-door sedan, though wagons and even delivery variants were offered for commercial use. Despite its no-frills appearance, the 150 could be ordered with serious power. Enthusiasts discovered that pairing its lightweight body with Chevrolet's small-block V8 created an ideal platform for performance. That combination made the 150 a sleeper favorite among hot rodders and drag racers. Production ended after 1957, when the Biscayne replaced it as Chevrolet's base model. Fleetline. The Chevrolet Fleetline debuted in 1941 as part of Chevrolet's upscale lineup, distinguished by its smooth, aerodynamic fastback roofline. Offered in special and deluxe trims, it brought a more modern, streamlined design language to pre-war American cars, a look that would carry through much of the 1940s. After World War II, Chevrolet revived the Fleetline as one of its main post-war models, and it quickly became a favorite for its stylish, sweeping profile. The Fleetline Aerozaden in particular stood out, combining elegant curves with dependable six-cylinder power and simple mechanicals that made it easy to own and maintain. As the 1950s began, American design trends shifted toward longer, lower, and more squared-off cars. The Fleetline's rounded fastback styling began to feel dated, and Chevrolet phased it out after the 1952 model year. Styleline. The Chevrolet Styleline was introduced in 1949 as part of the brand's first all-new post-war design. It represented the more traditional notchback alternative to the fastback-styled Fleetline, appealing to buyers who preferred a separate trunk and a more conventional profile. Offered in both special and deluxe trims, the Styleline featured smooth contours, generous chrome accents, and the dependable Stovebolt six-cylinder engine that powered most Chevrolets of the era. It came in multiple body styles: sedans, coupes, convertibles, and wagons, making it one of the most versatile models in Chevrolet's lineup. By 1952, the Styleline had become Chevrolet's sales leader, signaling a shift in American tastes toward more upright, squared-off designs. The following year, it was replaced by the completely new Bel Air series, which carried forward the same design philosophy but with a more modern look. Special Deluxe. The Chevrolet Special Deluxe arrived in 1941 as the top trim level in Chevrolet's lineup, positioned above the base Master and Special series. It was designed to offer buyers a step up in comfort, refinement, and visual appeal while maintaining Chevrolet's reputation for dependability and value. Featuring richer interior fabrics, chrome detailing, and available accessories like radios, heaters, and two-tone paint, the Special Deluxe represented the height of Chevrolet's pre-war style. Production paused during World War II, then resumed for 1946 as civilian car building restarted, with updated styling and improved materials reflecting post-war optimism. The Special Deluxe remained Chevrolet's volume leader through the late 1940s and early 1950s, offering six-cylinder power, a smooth ride, and solid craftsmanship that appealed to the expanding American middle class. It helped Chevrolet dominate post-war sales before being replaced by the Bel Air and 210 series in 1953. Nomad. The Chevrolet Nomad debuted in 1955 as part of the legendary Tri-5 lineup, and immediately stood out with its sleek two-door wagon design. Based on the Bel Air, it combined sporty styling with the practicality of a station wagon, a concept that was ahead of its time. The slanted B-pillars, wraparound rear glass, and chrome accents made it one of the most distinctive cars of the 1950s. While it shared the same chassis and V8 options as its Bel Air sibling, the Nomad's higher price and limited cargo space made it more of a style statement than a family hauler. Only 3 years of the original design were produced, but those 1955 to 1957 models became instant classics. Chevrolet revived the Nomad name in 1958 as a conventional four-door wagon, positioning it within the full-size lineup where it remained through 1972. Although the later versions lost the sporty two-door flair, the Nomad badge continued to represent style, utility, and innovation. Brookwood. The Chevrolet Brookwood debuted in 1958 as a mid-level full-size station wagon, positioned between the entry-level Yeoman and the more upscale Nomad. It offered families the practicality of Chevrolet's largest cars with a balance of style and affordability. Available in 2- and 4-door versions, the Brookwood shared the same chassis and engines as the Bel Air, including optional, small, and big block V8 seconds. In 1959, Chevrolet redesigned its full-size lineup with wider, lower bodies and dramatic cat's eye taillights, and the Brookwood continued as a key part of that family. It remained popular through the early 1960s, offering generous space for up to 9 passengers and the dependability that made Chevrolet wagons a staple of suburban life. After a brief hiatus, the Brookwood name returned in 1969 as the base-level full-size wagon below the Kingswood and Townsman. It continued through 1972 before the entire full-size wagon lineup was consolidated under the Caprice and Impala names. Parkwood. The Chevrolet Parkwood debuted in 1959 as a mid-range full-size station wagon, positioned between the entry-level Brookwood and the top-trim Kingswood. It offered buyers Bel Air level appointments, blending comfort and practicality at a reasonable price. Built on Chevrolet's all-new X-frame chassis, the Parkwood featured the wide, low stance and dramatic tail fins that defined late 1950s design. It was offered exclusively as a 4-door wagon, seating up to 6 passengers, with a range of engines from the dependable 235 cubic inch 6-cylinder to the potent 348 cubic inch V8. By 1961, Chevrolet streamlined its wagon lineup, dropping the Parkwood name in favor of simplified trim designations tied directly to the Bel Air and Impala lines. Kingswood. The Chevrolet Kingswood was introduced in 1959 as the top-tier full-size station wagon in Chevrolet's lineup. It sat above the Parkwood and Brookwood, offering more luxury features and premium trim similar to the Impala sedan of the same years. Available in 6 and 9 passenger configurations, the Kingswood embodied the era of the family road trip. It featured Chevrolet's wide, low jet-age styling, wraparound glass, and the full range of engines, from thrifty inline 6s to the powerful 348 and later 400 series V8 seconds. The Kingswood emphasized comfort and space, appealing to buyers who wanted both practicality and a touch of prestige. After disappearing briefly in the 1960s, the Kingswood name returned from 1969 through 1972 on Chevrolet's long wheelbase, 9-passenger wagons, including the luxurious Kingswood Estate with wood grain paneling. Townsman. The Chevrolet Townsman name first appeared in 1953 as a mid-level 4-door station wagon, positioned between the entry-level models and the more upscale Bel Air wagons. It was designed to offer families extra space and comfort without stepping into premium territory. Like other Chevrolets of the era, it shared the same durable full-size platform and drivetrain options found across the lineup. The Townsman evolved through multiple generations, following Chevrolet's shifting body styles and trim hierarchies. In the late 1950s, it became part of the Bel Air range, while during the 1960s it moved between Impala and Biscayne levels depending on the year. This flexibility helped it remain a staple of Chevrolet's wagon lineup for 2 decades. By the 1970s, the Townsman offered seating for up to 9 passengers and a wide choice of V8 engines, appealing to suburban families during the peak of America's station wagon era. Production ended after 1972 as Chevrolet consolidated its wagon offerings under names like Kingswood and Caprice Estate. Yeoman. The Chevrolet Yeoman was introduced for 1958 as the entry-level station wagon in Chevrolet's full-size lineup. It replaced the discontinued 150 Handyman series and was designed to offer maximum practicality at the lowest price point, targeting families and fleet buyers who needed space and durability over luxury. Built on the same platform as the rest of Chevrolet's 1958 models, the Yeoman shared its distinctive 1-year-only body styling, featuring a wide stance, quad headlights, and sculpted rear fenders. It was available in both 2-door and 4-door configurations, a rarity even then, and could be equipped with engines ranging from the standard 6-cylinder to the 283 and 348 cubic inch V8 seconds. The interior was simple but functional, with vinyl upholstery and minimal trim. It didn't carry the chrome or features of the Brookwood or Nomad, but it delivered honest utility. Chevrolet dropped the Yeoman name after 1958, consolidating the lineup into higher trim levels the following year. Malibu. The Chevrolet Malibu began in 1964 as the top trim level of the Chevelle, offering a blend of comfort, performance, and everyday practicality. It quickly became one of Chevrolet's best-selling models, available in sedan, coupe, convertible, and wagon forms. By the late 1960s, the Malibu SS carried strong performance credentials, with optional small and big block V8 engines that placed it firmly in the muscle car era. The 1970 Malibu SS, 396 and 454 variants remain among the most celebrated Chevrolets ever built. After 1978, the Malibu name replaced the Chevelle entirely, marking a shift from rear-wheel drive performance to front-wheel drive family sedans. Through the 1980s and 1990s, the Malibu became a practical mid-size commuter car, reintroduced again in 1997 to serve as Chevrolet's mainstream sedan. Laguna. The Chevrolet Laguna arrived in 1973 as a sport-oriented version of the mid-size Chevelle and Malibu lineup. It was introduced during a major redesign that gave Chevrolet's mid-size cars a new colonnade body style with fixed rear pillars and flowing lines that fit the style of the mid-1970s. The Laguna stood out with its unique front end, featuring a urethane nose and integrated bumper that set it apart from other Malibu models. It was available in several trims, including the S3, which became the performance flagship. The Laguna S3 offered options like a 454 cubic inch V8, special suspension tuning, and aerodynamic improvements that helped it dominate NASCAR throughout the mid-1970s. While it offered a blend of comfort and handling rare for its size, rising emission standards and changing tastes led to its discontinuation after 1976. Vega. The Chevrolet Vega debuted in 1971 as GM's bold entry into the subcompact market, a lightweight, stylish small car designed to compete with rising imports. It featured an innovative aluminum block four-cylinder engine, sleek fastback styling, and unibody construction that reflected GM's most advanced engineering at the time. Initially praised for its design and handling, the Vega quickly ran into major reliability problems. The aluminum engine suffered from overheating and oil consumption issues, while poor rust protection led to severe corrosion within just a few years. Despite these problems, the car sold well early on thanks to its low price and strong marketing push. Chevrolet continued improving the Vega through updates and recalls, and the rare 1975 to 1976 Cosworth Vega added fuel injection and higher performance, but by then, the car's reputation was beyond saving. Production ended in 1977, replaced by the better-built Chevette. Chevette. The Chevrolet Chevette arrived in 1976 as Chevrolet's smallest and most affordable car, replacing the troubled Vega. Built on GM's global T-body platform, it was simple, economical, and easy to maintain, a practical answer to the fuel-conscious era of the late 1970s. Powered by small four-cylinder engines and offering rear-wheel drive, the Chevette delivered basic transportation rather than excitement. Its straightforward engineering and low cost made it a hit with first-time buyers and fleet operators. By 1979, it was America's best-selling small car, and nearly 2.8 million were produced over its lifetime. Chevrolet offered multiple body styles, including a 3-door hatchback, 5-door hatchback, and a rare 2-seat scooter base model. It also marked a milestone for GM, becoming the first American car designed entirely to metric standards. By the mid-1980s, the Chevette was outdated, outpaced by front-wheel drive imports and GM's own newer compacts. Production ended in 1987, closing out a long and practical chapter in Chevrolet history. Citation. The Chevrolet Citation debuted in 1980 as Chevrolet's first front-wheel drive compact car, replacing the long-running Nova. It was built on GM's new X-body platform and represented a major shift toward lighter, more efficient cars in the wake of the 1970s fuel crises. With modern front-wheel drive packaging, the Citation offered better interior space and handling than its rear-wheel drive predecessors. It came in 2- and 4-door hatchback versions, and later as a notchback coupe. Buyers could choose from 4- and 6-cylinder engines, with the performance-oriented Citation X11 adding sport suspension, stripes, and available V6 power that appealed to enthusiasts of the era. Initial sales were massive, over 800,000 in its first year, making it one of Chevrolet's fastest-selling new models ever. But early quality and reliability issues quickly tarnished its reputation. Brake problems, recalls, and build inconsistencies caused sales to collapse in the following years. Production ended after 1985, with the Chevrolet Celebrity taking its place. Cavalier. The Chevrolet Cavalier launched in 1982 as Chevrolet's new compact car, built on GM's J-body platform, shared globally across several brands. It replaced the troubled Citation and was designed to deliver affordable, efficient, and modern transportation for the 1980s. Offered in sedan, coupe, wagon, and convertible forms, the Cavalier appealed to a broad audience. Early versions featured simple 4-cylinder engines and front-wheel drive, providing a balance of economy and everyday reliability. By the late 1980s, the Z24 performance model brought a sportier edge with V6 power and distinctive styling. Throughout the 1990s, the Cavalier became one of Chevrolet's best-selling models. It was a mainstay for commuters, first-time buyers, and rental fleets, earning a reputation for value and ease of ownership. The third generation, introduced in 1995, modernized the design and added safety features to keep pace with competitors. Production ended in 2005 after more than 20 years and 6 million units built, replaced by the Chevrolet Cobalt. Cobalt. The Chevrolet Cobalt debuted in 2005 as the replacement for the long-running Cavalier, marking a major step forward for Chevrolet's compact lineup. Built on GM's Delta platform, the Cobalt offered a stiffer chassis, improved safety features, and a much more refined driving experience compared to its predecessor. Available as both a coupe and sedan, it was offered with a range of 4-cylinder engines, from the economical 2.2-liter Ecotec to the high-performance turbocharged variants in the Cobalt SS. The SS models were the standout, delivering impressive power, sharp handling, and track-ready performance that rivaled import sport compacts of the era. Inside, the Cobalt offered a more modern layout and higher quality materials than the Cavalier, reflecting GM's effort to rebuild its reputation in the small car segment. It performed well in safety ratings and found steady success with younger buyers and commuters. Production ended in 2010, replaced by the global Chevrolet Cruze. Celebrity. The Chevrolet Celebrity launched in 1982 as part of GM's new front-wheel drive A-body lineup, replacing the rear-drive Malibu. It shared its platform with the Buick Century and Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra, but carried a distinct Chevrolet identity focused on practicality and mainstream appeal. Offered as a sedan, coupe, and wagon, the Celebrity was designed for comfort and efficiency. 4- and 6-cylinder engines paired with front-wheel drive gave it better fuel economy than its predecessors, while the ride and handling were tuned for everyday driving rather than performance. Inside, it featured upright seating, simple controls, and room for 5 adults, all wrapped in boxy, no-nonsense styling that defined the decade. By the mid-1980s, the Celebrity had become one of Chevrolet's best-selling models, consistently ranking among America's top 5 cars. Police fleets, families, and commuters alike valued its balance of reliability and affordability. Sales declined by the end of the decade as newer designs like the Lumina took over, and production ended after 1990. Corsica. The Chevrolet Corsica debuted in 1987 as Chevrolet's new compact to midsize front-wheel drive sedan and hatchback, built on GM's L-body platform. It was designed to replace the Citation and slot just below the Celebrity, offering modern styling and improved efficiency for the late 1980s. The Corsica emphasized practicality. It featured simple lines, comfortable seating for 5, and a smooth, fuel-efficient 4-cylinder or optional V6 engine. Its driving manners were predictable and quiet, reflecting Chevrolet's focus on affordability and dependability over excitement. While never flashy, the Corsica sold well thanks to its value and reliability, especially with fleet buyers and families looking for basic transportation. Later updates improved refinement, safety, and build quality, keeping it competitive through the mid-1990s. In 1996, Chevrolet replaced it with the Malibu, which carried forward its role as the brand's mainstream midsize sedan. Beretta. The Chevrolet Beretta debuted in 1987 as the sporty two-door companion to the Corsica sedan. Built on the same L-body platform, it was designed to attract younger buyers with its sleek wedge-shaped profile, hidden headlights, and more aggressive stance. The Beretta offered a range of engines over its lifetime, from economical 4-cylinders to the stronger 3.1-liter V6. Performance-oriented trims like the GT, GTZ, and later the Z26 added improved suspension, body kits, and distinctive styling touches that gave the car genuine sporty appeal in an era when affordable coupes were in high demand. Inside, the Beretta emphasized a driver-focused layout and clean, functional design. It wasn't luxurious, but it delivered solid performance for the price and became a popular choice among budget-conscious enthusiasts and commuters alike. Production ended in 1996 as market trends shifted towards sedans and SUVs. Suburban. The Chevrolet Suburban debuted in 1935 as the Carryall Suburban, designed as a rugged, truck-based vehicle capable of hauling people and cargo with equal ease. It was essentially an enclosed station wagon built on a pickup chassis, a concept that would evolve into the modern SUV. Through the post-war years, the Suburban became a staple for families, businesses, and government fleets, valued for its durability and versatility. In the 1960s and 1970s, it grew larger and more comfortable, adding options like V8 engines, 4-wheel drive, and improved interiors that made it equally at home on the highway or the worksite. By the 1990s, the Suburban had become the definitive full-size SUV, offering 3 rows of seating and unmatched towing capability. Later generations introduced advanced safety features, independent suspension, and luxury trim levels, transforming it from a utility vehicle into a family flagship. Now, in its 12th generation, the Suburban holds the distinction of being the longest continuously produced nameplate in automotive history. Tahoe. The Chevrolet Tahoe launched for the 1995 model year as a shorter, more maneuverable version of the Suburban, aimed at families who wanted full-size SUV capability without the extra length. Built on a truck chassis, it offered rugged 4-wheel drive performance, strong towing capacity, and a comfortable interior that made it equally at home off-road or on the highway. Early Tahoes came with powerful small-block V8 engines in either 2- or 4-door body styles, with the 4-door quickly becoming the standard. It struck a perfect balance between size and versatility, helping define the modern SUV segment. Through the 2000s and 2010s, the Tahoe evolved with smoother styling, independent suspension, and advanced safety and infotainment technology. It remained a favorite among families, law enforcement, and government fleets, thanks to its durability and spacious design. Now in its 5th generation, the Tahoe continues to serve as Chevrolet's core full-size SUV. Blazer. The Chevrolet Blazer made its debut in 1969 as the K5 Blazer, Chevrolet's answer to the Ford Bronco and International Scout. Built on a shortened full-size truck chassis, it combined off-road capability with passenger comfort, offering features like 4-wheel drive, removable tops, and powerful V8 engines. It was one of the first vehicles to successfully merge rugged utility with daily drivability, the formula that would define the SUV market for decades. Through the 1970s and 1980s, the Blazer grew more refined while retaining its toughness. The K5 became an icon of the era, popular with outdoorsmen, military fleets, and suburban families alike. In 1983, Chevrolet introduced the smaller S10 Blazer, a compact SUV built on the S10 pickup platform, which made the nameplate even more accessible and helped it thrive through the 1990s. Both the full-size and S10 Blazers were discontinued by the early 2000s, as buyers moved toward more car-like SUVs. But in 2019, Chevrolet revived the Blazer name for a new mid-size crossover. This modern version traded body-on-frame ruggedness for sleek styling, technology, and on-road comfort. Trailblazer. The Chevrolet Trailblazer name first appeared in 2002, replacing the S10 Blazer as Chevrolet's mid-size SUV. Built on a truck-based platform, it offered true body-on-frame strength with smoother styling and a more refined interior than its predecessor. The standout feature was its 4.2-liter inline-six engine, an all-new design that delivered smooth power and surprising performance for its class. The Trailblazer also offered optional V8 power, four-wheel drive, and generous towing capacity, appealing to drivers who wanted an SUV that could work as hard as it played. Trim levels like the LTZ added luxury, while the Trailblazer SS, powered by a Corvette-sourced 6.0-liter V8, made it one of the fastest SUVs of its time. Production ended in 2009 as the market shifted toward car-based crossovers. But in 2021, Chevrolet revived the Trailblazer name for a completely different vehicle, a compact, front-wheel drive-based crossover positioned below the Equinox. The new model focuses on efficiency, technology, and urban versatility, rather than off-road toughness. Equinox. The Chevrolet Equinox debuted in 2005 as Chevrolet's first mid-size crossover SUV, designed to bridge the gap between traditional truck-based SUVs and car-like family vehicles. Built on a unibody platform, it offered smoother handling, better fuel economy, and a more comfortable ride than the larger Trailblazer or Suburban. The first generation featured V6 power and optional all-wheel drive, appealing to families who wanted utility without sacrificing drivability. In 2010, the second generation Equinox refined the formula with modern styling, improved efficiency, and an upgraded interior, helping it become one of Chevrolet's best-selling models. By the time the third generation arrived in 2018, the Equinox had shifted firmly into the compact crossover segment. It offered turbocharged four-cylinder engines, advanced safety technology, and connectivity features aimed at everyday commuters and small families. Traverse. The Chevrolet Traverse arrived in 2009 as a full-size crossover designed to combine SUV space with car-like comfort. Built on GM's Lambda platform, it replaced both the Trailblazer EXT and Uplander minivan. Offering 3 rows of seating, a smooth ride, and modern styling aimed squarely at growing families. The first generation emphasized practicality, with seating for up to 8 and nearly 117 cubic feet of cargo space. It delivered the utility of a Suburban without the bulk or fuel costs of a body-on-frame design. Powered by a V6 engine in front, or all-wheel drive, the Traverse became a strong seller in Chevrolet's expanding SUV lineup. The second generation, introduced in 2018, refined the formula with sharper styling, improved fuel economy, and advanced safety and infotainment features. Its upscale trims like the RS and High Country blurred the line between mainstream and premium, appealing to both family buyers and commuters needing space and comfort. Still in production today, the Traverse represents Chevrolet's evolution into the modern crossover era, a vehicle that delivers full-size versatility with the refinement and technology expected of contemporary SUVs. C-K Series. The Chevrolet C-K Series debuted in 1960 as the foundation of Chevrolet's modern full-size pickup line. The C denoted two-wheel drive, while K represented four-wheel drive, a simple naming convention that became legendary among truck buyers. The early 1960s models introduced key innovations like independent front suspension and a smoother, more car-like ride, setting them apart from the utilitarian pickups of the 1950s. Through the 1970s, the CK evolved into one of America's most popular trucks, with boxy styling, strong small and big block V8 engines, and trim levels like the Cheyenne and Silverado that added comfort and style to traditional toughness. The 1988 redesign brought modern aerodynamics, fuel injection, and improved interiors, turning the CK into a true daily driver for both work and recreation. These trucks became symbols of reliability, often lasting hundreds of thousands of miles in service. Production ended after 2002, when the Silverado name officially replaced the CK designation. Silverado. The Chevrolet Silverado debuted in 1999 as the successor to the long-running CK series, marking the next generation of Chevrolet's full-size pickup trucks. While the Silverado name had previously appeared as a trim level, it now stood alone as Chevrolet's flagship truck, blending power, comfort, and modern technology. Built on the GMT 800 platform, The first-generation Silverado introduced improved ride quality, new V8 engines, and refined interiors that made it more than just a workhorse. Over the following decades, it evolved into one of the most popular trucks in North America, consistently competing head-to-head with Ford's F-Series and Ram's 1500. Each generation brought major advances. The 2007 redesign improved aerodynamics and cabin comfort, while the 2014 model added direct injection engines and advanced infotainment. The current Silverado offers everything from efficient turbocharged 4-cylinders to the mighty 6.2-liter V8 and even a Duramax diesel, catering to both everyday drivers and heavy-duty haulers. Now, in its 5th generation, the Silverado remains Chevrolet's best-selling vehicle, a symbol of American toughness and engineering evolution that continues to define the modern pickup truck. Let's 10. The Chevrolet S10 was introduced in 1982 as the first domestically built compact pickup from any of the big three automakers. It replaced the imported Chevy LUV and was designed to give American buyers a smaller, more fuel-efficient alternative to full-size trucks while retaining real utility. Built on a body-on-frame chassis, the S10 offered 2- and 4-wheel drive versions, short and long beds, and a variety of powertrains ranging from efficient 4-cylinders to the strong 4.3-liter V6 that became its signature engine. It was praised for its durability, easy handling, and versatility, quickly becoming a favorite among tradesmen and recreational drivers alike. Chevrolet expanded the line in 1983 with the S10 Blazer, a compact SUV based on the same platform. Over time, the S10 added more features and comfort, moving closer to a dual-purpose vehicle that worked as both a truck and a daily driver. Production ended after 2004, replaced by the larger and more modern Colorado. The Chevrolet Colorado debuted in 2004 as the successor to the S10, offering a larger, more refined take on the compact pickup segment. Built on a new platform shared with GMC's Canyon, it featured modern styling, more interior comfort, and a range of inline 4, 5-cylinder, and V8 engine options. The Colorado was designed to appeal to drivers who wanted a truck versatile enough for work, yet comfortable enough for daily use. After a brief production pause in North America, Chevrolet reintroduced the Colorado in 2015 with a complete redesign. This second generation featured stronger towing capacity, improved fuel efficiency, and the introduction of a 2.8-liter Duramax diesel engine, a first in its class. It bridged the gap between compact and full-size trucks, carving out a space for mid-size pickups in the U.S. market once again. The current generation, launched in 2023, continues that legacy with bolder styling, turbocharged powertrains, and advanced off-road trims like the ZR2 that highlight Chevrolet's commitment to capability and innovation. Avalanche. The Chevrolet Avalanche debuted in 2002 as one of the most innovative vehicles in Chevrolet's lineup, a bold mix between a full-size SUV and a pickup truck. Built on the same platform as the Suburban and Tahoe, it featured 4 doors, seating for up to 6, and a pickup-style bed separated by a removable rear panel known as the midgate. This clever design allowed drivers to fold down the rear seats and extend the cargo area into the cabin, giving the Avalanche unmatched versatility. Its design was polarizing but purposeful, with integrated body cladding and a distinctive sail panel profile. Beneath the styling, it offered serious capability, powered by V8 engines and built with the same strength as Chevrolet's full-size trucks. The Avalanche could tow heavy loads yet still deliver the comfort and refinement of an SUV. The second generation, introduced in 2007, refined the styling and added more luxury and technology, making it a favorite among drivers who wanted a truck that could do everything. But as consumer preferences shifted toward traditional pickups and crossovers, sales declined, and Chevrolet ended production in 2013. Double SSR. The Chevrolet SSR, short for Super Sport Roadster, debuted in 2003 as one of the most distinctive vehicles Chevrolet ever built. It combined the styling of a 1940s pickup with the performance of a modern sports car, resulting in a retro-inspired convertible truck unlike anything else on the road. Built on a modified Trailblazer platform, the SSR featured a retractable power hardtop roof that transformed it from a pickup into an open-air cruiser in under 30 seconds. Early models used a 5.3-liter V8 producing 300 horsepower, while later versions gained the Corvette's LS2 engine with 390 horsepower and a 6-speed manual, giving the SSR real muscle beneath its nostalgic design. While its bold styling and limited practicality kept sales modest, the SSR stood out for its craftsmanship, power, and individuality. It represented an era when Chevrolet wasn't afraid to experiment with form and function, blending performance, nostalgia, and show car flair into a single package. Production ended in 2006, but the SSR has since gained a cult following among collectors. Astro. The Chevrolet Astro debuted in 1985 as a rear-wheel drive mid-size van positioned between compact minivans and full-size cargo vans. Built on a truck-based platform, it offered the toughness and towing capacity of a pickup with the passenger space of a family hauler. It could seat up to 8 and tow over 5,000 pounds, making it a favorite among tradesmen and large families alike. Early Astros were powered by a 4.3-liter V6 and available with rear or all-wheel drive, the latter introduced in 1990 to improve traction in harsh conditions. Its boxy design maximized interior volume, and the van's durability made it a long-lived choice for commercial use, camper conversions, and shuttle fleets. Throughout its two-decade run, the Astro remained largely unchanged, a testament to its solid construction and loyal following. Production ended in 2005 as consumer demand shifted toward car-based minivans and crossovers like the Chevrolet Uplander. Express Van. The Chevrolet Express Van debuted in 1996 as the successor to the long-running Chevy Van and G-Series models, bringing a more modern, aerodynamic design and updated mechanicals to Chevrolet's full-size commercial lineup. Built on a heavy-duty truck frame, it offered impressive towing and payload capacity, making it ideal for businesses, fleet use, and large families needing serious space. Available in both cargo and passenger versions, the Express came with multiple wheelbase options and seating configurations for up to 15 passengers. Powertrain choices ranged from durable V6 and V8 engines to later diesel and compressed natural gas options, giving it versatility across commercial, shuttle, and recreational roles. Lumina APV. The Chevrolet Lumina APV debuted in 1990 as Chevrolet's first front-wheel drive minivan, replacing the rear-drive Astro in the brand's family lineup. Built on GM's U-body platform, it shared its underpinnings with the Pontiac Transport and Oldsmobile silhouette, offering a futuristic look and innovative construction that set it apart from traditional minivans. Its most distinctive feature was its bold, dust-buster styling, a long, sloped windshield and composite plastic body panels that resisted rust and dents. Inside, the Lumina APV featured modular seating with lightweight, removable rear chairs that allowed for flexible cargo and passenger arrangements. Power came from GM's reliable 3.1 and later 3.8-liter V6 engines, providing smooth, adequate performance for family use. While praised for innovation, its radical design polarized buyers, and competitors like Chrysler's more conventional vans outsold it by large margins. In 1997, Chevrolet replaced the Lumina APV with the more traditionally styled Venture, which carried forward many of its practical ideas in a more mainstream package. Venture. The Chevrolet Venture debuted in 1997 as the replacement for the Lumina APV, bringing a more conventional design to Chevrolet's front-wheel drive minivan lineup. It shared GM's updated U-body platform with the Pontiac Montana and Oldsmobile silhouette, but featured cleaner, family-friendly styling aimed at mainstream buyers who had been put off by the Lumina's futuristic look. Powered by a 3.4-liter V6 engine, the Venture offered smooth performance and respectable fuel economy. Inside, it focused on practicality, with seating for up to 8 and a flexible interior that included options like rear captain's chairs and a power sliding door, a first for Chevrolet minivans. Later versions added features such as DVD entertainment systems and improved safety equipment, keeping it competitive in a crowded segment. While not as refined as some rivals, the Venture earned a reputation for comfort and versatility, serving families, shuttle operators, and fleet buyers alike. Production ended in 2005, replaced by the Chevrolet Uplander, which carried over its platform with more SUV-inspired styling. HHR. The Chevrolet HHR, short for Heritage High Roof, debuted in 2006 as a retro-styled compact wagon inspired by Chevrolet's late 1940s advanced design trucks and early Suburbans. Designed by Brian Nesbitt, who also styled Chrysler's PT Cruiser, the HHR combined nostalgic design with modern practicality, aiming to capture the same charm and versatility that made its inspiration iconic. Built on the front-wheel drive Delta platform shared with the Chevrolet Cobalt, the HHR offered a car-like ride with the utility of a small SUV. It featured a tall roofline, fold-flat rear seats, and impressive cargo capacity for its size, appealing to buyers who wanted functionality with a touch of vintage flair. Power came from a range of efficient 4-cylinder engines, including a turbocharged version in the high-performance HHR SS, which delivered 260 horsepower and a sport-tuned suspension. Available in panel van configurations for commercial use, the HHR proved versatile, serving families, small businesses, and enthusiasts alike. Production ended in 2011, replaced by the more conventional Chevrolet Orlando and later the Trax.